Okay, guys, I was editing this video that I just did on Heavy Duty Country, and I just glanced at YouTube, and I noticed that he just dropped another video within the last hour called Candace Owens Just Dropped a Bomb on the Charlie Kirk Case. And I started watching it, and I decided I've got to cover this video too. So this is going to be kind of like a two-part video. I've got my one reaction that I've already done, and now I've got another one that I'm going to record to this. And let me tell you, you're going to want to stick around till this part 2 because things get spicy. In my opinion, he crosses a line and I go at it pretty hard. So you're definitely going to want to watch this video till the end. I guarantee it's worth the wait. Things are getting interesting, guys. We've got the conspiracy people turning on each other and calling each other out. Why? I don't know. Probably because every theory they continue to put out day after day is fucking wrong. Like, not even close. It's not even plausible, most of the shit these guys put out. But now they're turning on each other. Let's watch. We got something here from Heavy Duty Country. Let's see what Heavy Duty Country has to say.
Folks, the investigation is over into Charlie Kirk. That's right. It's over. They figured it out. They figured out that Tyler Robinson is the guy and that he acted alone and that his weird furry boyfriend had nothing to do with it. And it's all good, guys. Just let's wrap it up. Let's go home. And I don't know, man. It's been such a nice time watching Kash Patel go on the news and be like, yeah, guys, this was not a weird case at all. We found a gun that, I don't know, I guess just was a 30-06, even though it doesn't seem like he got shot with a 30-06. And then we found.
That's where this entire conspiracy theory stems from, is some dude, right, came out and basically said, my 30-06 goes boom bigger than that. And then everything just erupted, just completely exploded, even though we have no idea on a number of variables when it comes to the 30-06. We don't know what kind of ammo was used in that rifle. We have no idea what the condition of the rifle is. We have no idea what damage is being done inside of Charlie Kirk's body. There are so many questions as far as that specific topic goes that we don't have answers to. That to just be able to make a bold claim that there's no way that's a 30-06. I'm sorry, gun expert guys, you just can't make that claim. Without that, none of these conspiracy theories even exist. Just go through the charging documents alone and you can see what type of evidence they have. They have the security camera catching him go to the roof and going into a prone position, and then getting up and fleeing. They have his parents turning him in, basically in his parents' own words, implying that he was the shooter. You have the note left for the roommate. You have the roommate corroborating all of that information. You have the text messages of Tyler Robinson admitting to his roommate that he did it. That is all incredibly compelling evidence against Tyler Robinson. Now take into the account that they're probably, I would assume by now, have the autopsy report and more than likely are going to be able to ballistically match whatever they found in Charlie's body to that rifle. Let's keep watching.
Found a towel around it. We found a screwdriver on the roof, but we didn't test the gun for DNA. We just tested the towel and the screwdriver. And yeah, that's where we're at with everything.
No, that's not where we're at with everything. How is he... When did he post this video? 18 hours ago. How are dudes making fucking videos on this topic and they're so unaware of the facts? It's listed right in the charging documents. Kash Patel, believe Kash Patel or not, I don't really care what your opinion on Kash is. I don't hold Kash in the highest regard. Doesn't matter. In the charging documents, it's listed that they found DNA on the trigger of the rifle. Kash Patel told us that the towel and screwdriver the FBI were in charge of as far as getting DNA off of, and that the firearm went to the ATF, and they are the ones who tested it for DNA. So we've known this for a minute now, that they found DNA on the fucking trigger of the rifle, and yet somehow Heavy Duty Country, who has made numerous videos on this topic, isn't aware of that? How is this possible, guys?
By the way, Apparently, my last video ruffled a couple of feathers in regard to the guy I talked about who had a theory that the gunshot wasn't real, that it came from the loudspeakers. Apparently, he's been watching my videos, which, hey man, welcome. I have no problem with you whatsoever, even though you seem a little bit hysterical about everything for some weird reason. I don't know. What is Charlie, your brother? He is more hysterical about this than Charlie Kirk's wife, Erika, which I find extremely odd, but you know, whatever. But he responded to my video and said this: at Heavy Duty Country, instead of talking mad shit to a camera, what do you mean I was talking shit? Because you thought that it wasn't a real gunshot and that it came from like the speakers? What's the next theory, man? Come on. Did Peter Pan shoot him with a bow and arrow and, you know, I don't know, Tinkerbell came down and that's why there was no blood when they carried him off? Like, what's next? How about you show the world how a bullet can do this to a t-shirt? Name the time and place and I'll be there with expensive cameras to record it all. You can pick any caliber too, not just a 30-06. Oh, this is going to be fun. And it's in regards to this post. Reward current pot is $61,000 for anyone who can recreate Charlie's t-shirt movement.
So he's not calling out who this dude is, and I'm assuming he just doesn't want to give any attention to this guy, which is understandable. You know, I'm not going to use my 900-some thousand subscribers. I'm not going to give you that platform. However, I will let you know who it is because I don't care and nobody's going to watch this. It's at Blake Bednarz. BLAKEBEDNARZ.
And then on top of that, I'm going to ask you why you're purposely misleading people on X. Why? To gain more followers or?
This is awesome. This is so fucking fun to watch. He is accusing this other dude of purposely misleading people. And I'm going to show you some examples where you could argue that he has misled people. Let's go ahead and do that. We're just going to do that right now. Here's a quick example of how someone could argue that he misled his audience.
And I feel like that's a pretty easy thing to figure out, but not for you. Well, it gets even worse because Candace Owens just proved that his parents did not turn him in. His parents think he's still innocent. Listen to this.
What I've learned is that his father...
Did Candace Owens prove that his parents think he's innocent? Did Candace Owens prove that they didn't turn him in? That they didn't help turn Tyler Robinson in? Because as far as I can tell, Candace Owens never proved anything. Candace Owens made a claim, and then Candace Owens didn't show any type of evidence or proof to back that claim up whatsoever. Yet, here he is claiming that she proved that his parents not only didn't turn him in, but think he's innocent. When we know in the charging documents, it's in the charging documents that his parents stated that Tyler had implied guilt of shooting Charlie Kirk, that he implied he was the shooter, that they recognized his pictures from the FBI releases, that the father recognized the picture of the firearm that was leaked by the New York Post. I don't think you guys understand what the repercussions would be for a prosecution to put false information in a charging document. I feel like that would easily lead to a mistrial, that the prosecution is falsifying evidence. I feel like that's a pretty big fucking problem. So there's one example of him misleading his audience by making a claim that somebody did something that they did not do. Here's another clip of him making a claim without any evidence to back up the claim. You could say he's making an assumption, right? He's speculating, but the way he's framing it, he is making a claim. Listen.
I don't know if the security is involved, but I can tell you right now, they did not follow procedure.
I can tell you right now, they did not follow procedure. He has absolutely not enough information whatsoever to make this claim, yet here he is making this claim.
At all. Because if you look at this video, no one is applying pressure to his neck. They are more concerned with handing stuff off to each other.
There have been videos made showing that his security team did have blood on their hands. There have been videos made explaining more than likely what was happening down there where we couldn't see. Gary from Paramount Tactical, can't plug him enough, did a great job explaining and demonstrating more than likely what was happening there. Hell, I even made a video on it, showing the video of the blood on Charlie Kirk all over his arm, of the blood on those guys' hands, their clothing. So we know that they were doing something. And from the time Charlie Kirk was shot to the time they were lifting him up to transport him to the SUV was about 18 seconds. So whatever they were doing down there, they were doing fast and in a hurry, and they got him up and moving within 18 seconds. So this guy is making a claim that they weren't doing their job, when we have other professionals who are very familiar with how to treat people in scenarios like that and what you should be doing, saying they were absolutely doing their job. And I could keep finding all kinds of videos on Heavy Duty Country here where he makes claims. Why am I bringing this up? You're going to see, I'm going to show you.
And let me just say this, guys. I'm all good with the conspiracies. I'm all good with theories. The only complaint I have on this guy is that he talks like he knows exactly what happened. He talks in definites. It's not, hey guys, here is maybe what I think happened. It's, his mic exploded, bro.
That's why I bring it up. He's doing the same fucking thing. Talking indefinites. Candace proved this. She didn't. His security definitely didn't do this. They might have. You guys feel free to go watch his stuff. You can see it. I'm really glad that he's calling out this Blake dude. Some of these other dudes on here, like the palm pistol weird shit and the exploding microphones and whatever this Blake dude is talking about, like they're just out in cuckoo land. So like, cool. I'm glad to see one of these other guys finally calling out these fucking retards, for lack of a better term. I don't know what else to call them. Grifters. I think they're full of shit. Like, I really don't think they believe the shit they're saying, but they might. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they're just stupid.
Oh, okay. It's a possibility, but what proof do you have? The only thing that matters right now is provable things.
I agree, dude. With the only thing that does matter right now is provable things. And not one thing you or any other conspiracy theory has presented is provable in any way, shape, or form. Even the things that you claim have been proven have not been proven. For example, Tyler Robinson's parents thinking he's not guilty has not been proven. That was a claim made by Candace that there was no anything offered up from her to prove that statement. There is all kinds of stupid shit that many of you guys have said that is not provable. There is some stuff that isn't stupid, but isn't provable. Like the idea that there are more people involved in this than just Tyler Robinson is not a stupid theory. There is no proof. There might be some circumstantial evidence that some people had foreknowledge, but that doesn't mean that they are directly involved, right? There's a difference between knowing something is going to happen and helping make something happen. Now, they're still guilty of a crime. It's just not the same crime. And I'm a little surprised, to be honest with you, that if there were people with legitimate foreknowledge of this event, that there haven't been any arrests made. For me, that's a red flag, right? Because we know that there were people making posts on X talking about tomorrow's going to be a big day, right? We all remember those. And it's been what now, over a month? I would assume that the FBI investigated those leads. I would imagine that they have those people's identity. So the fact that there haven't been any arrests made when it comes to that is a little, it's concerning, but that doesn't mean that they're lying about Tyler Robinson. That doesn't mean that they're lying about his parents' statement that's in the charging documents. That doesn't mean that they're lying about the text messages. That doesn't mean that they're lying about his roommate.
We're looking at everyone that was there, that was online, and we're looking to refer these matters to the state prosecution authorities when there's enough evidence. But the reality is, again, with social media, when you have hysterical conspiracy theories filling the void, you're harming Charlie and his family and a rightful prosecution of his alleged assassin, who we have in custody, and rightly so, in my opinion. And if anyone helped him, do you think that we at this FBI are literally going to let them get away with it? Us standing silent in the face of growing conspiracy theories, that's what we do to shut down a faulty prosecution. That's what we do to shut down a system of justice that wants to be exploited by these same anarchists. And that's what they're doing. They're bringing it to social media. They're bringing it online for
I think there are definitely some very bad actors that are knowingly and intentionally pushing conspiracy theories. They're not just asking questions. Like, they are legitimate, what provocateurs, I guess, agents of chaos. I think there are definitely some really bad actors out there that are pushing this shit intentionally. And it's not just for clicks. Like they have an agenda. The same way you have certain factions or whatever that are more organized than they claim to be and are funded by whoever. I think we see the same thing when it comes to pushing conspiracy theories. And I don't know, like, I guess I'm not real sure why Heavy Duty Country is so frustrated with Kash Patel. Like, he's getting visibly worked up. And I'm not sure why. Like, let's just say that Kash is lying and is completely full of shit. And let's say that this whole thing is a hoax. We'll find out, man. We will know. If it goes to trial and all of this evidence is presented to a jury in trial and we, the public, get to see that, I think you're going to have a hard time saying that they're lying. Now, if for whatever reason this doesn't go to trial and all of this alleged evidence that they have gets just discarded and put into a fucking classified case somewhere and is never again to see the light of day, I think that would be a pretty big indicator that something is wrong. And now we can really start pushing that envelope. But until this plays out how it's going to play out, feel free to continue to do your investigation and to bring up your questions. But to just assume that we're going to have all of these answers right now is insane, in my opinion. So I think everybody just needs to practice a little patience. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. We have no idea. There could be people that go against this gag order and start, leaking more information to the public. We have no idea what's going to happen.
Candace Owens, my lord, she is flying very, very close to the sun, and it seems like she has gone a little bit haywire, maybe. Look, there are things that happen in day-to-day.
If by haywire you mean absolutely insane, yeah, I would agree with you on that. Maybe not even necessarily insane. I don't know that I believe Candace believes what she's saying. I think Candace how can I put this? I think Candace is well aware of what she's doing. I think she enjoys doing it. I think she's very good at it. And I think it's making her a lot of money. I'll say that.
Life and history that we can
I don't think Candace is crazy.
Pretty much point at our government and say, yep, they were probably involved. The problem, and one of the reasons why the government has so much power, and one of the reasons why the families that run the world have so much power, is because the one thing that you need is proof. And I've always been a fan of the idea that if you don't have proof on something, don't talk about it. Because while you may be able to make connections,
I don't understand why everybody's so convinced that our government is involved with this. If you just look at the narrative, the official story, what about this official story seems so complicated and so impossible that the only way this could have gone down is if the government was involved in some way? If you look at that campus where Tyler Robinson allegedly got to the roof, how he got on the roof is not complicated. Anybody could have figured that out, whether you had either just had been to UVU before or you just hop on Google Earth. You can 100% see access to that roof. I don't understand. Somebody explain to me what's so complicated about what Tyler Robinson was able to do that there has to be some type of government involvement. I think it's one kid who decided he was going to try to do something and he got lucky. Happens all the time. People think that everything is just so protected, that everybody's just constantly on guard, and there's no way that somebody would drop the ball. This is humans we're talking about. There is a human element involved in this that nobody seems to be taking into consideration. You just assume that no matter the scenario, no matter the person, it's 100, there's going to be eyes on somewhere. And that's just not the case. Not the case at all. Look, just pay attention to your surroundings in your average everyday life. See how aware people are. And I don't care if it's their job or not, they're fucking human. People are not as aware as you think they are or as you think they should be. Just going to say that.
And I don't know, have educated guesses, you ultimately just put a target on your back and it solves nothing. And from the beginning, Candace Owens has gone through a whole bunch of stuff as far as the Charlie Kirk case. And I was a huge fan of everything she's done. And I think she should still keep going. She hasn't posted a video in 2 weeks. I'm not entirely sure why, but she said this the other day. And oh boy, that's all I got to say. I'm going to pause it here and there, but this is one of the wildest things I've seen in a minute. She's essentially inferring that Trump and this administration either had a part of killing Charlie Kirk or did it.
My heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics, and they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? They're like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock it off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you. Okay, there's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like that's what they do. It's the Fed signature. It's how they sign off.
She didn't say necessarily Trump did it, but she's talking about Trump. She's talking about the federal government. She's talking about Israel. When you have the command.
What do you mean she didn't necessarily say? She literally just said it's the Fed signature that when they kill you, they give you a boulevard. That doesn't sound like she's implying anything. That sounds like she's outright accusing. Am I hearing the same thing that they're hearing? What are you guys hearing when you hear that? What does it sound like she's saying to you when she said it's the Fed's signature to give you a boulevard after they kill you? What?
And of that many people like she does. I don't know how many subscribers she's at now. I think it's millions. That's flying very close to the sun. And I hope she has some level of proof. I really hope she does, because if she does, it will be unprecedented, the change that we will see in this country.
I'm going to make a claim. You guys ready for this? I'm going to make a claim. Candace has no proof of any of this shit whatsoever. The only piece of evidence she's even given us was an out of context message thread that it contained, 3 messages? 4? 2 of which were from Charlie. That's it. Of all the videos she's done, that's the only piece of evidence she's given on anything. How many claims has she made? I can see why she took a 2-week vacation. She needs to separate herself from all of this shit she can't fucking give evidence for, so she can now come with new stuff and dig up new ideas. And boy, is she going to have plenty of ammo, because the morons on the internet keep pushing even more ridiculous conspiracy shit that doesn't have anything to do with the shit that they were pushing just days ago, let alone weeks ago.
But as of now, like I've said, the stuff that matters in the Charlie Kirk case is the stuff that we can point to and say this is a very clear, obvious cover-up. The fact that there is no footage of Tyler Robinson anywhere except
it is not a fact that there is no footage of Tyler Robinson anywhere. That is a flat out misrepresentation. I think what he's meaning to say is that the feds haven't released any more footage of Tyler Robinson to the public. The Utah authorities haven't released any more footage of Tyler Robinson to the public. You would have to be stupid to think that they don't have more footage with all of those houses in that area, all of the security cameras on those homes, the security cams all over campus. The feds released to the public what they needed to release in order to try to identify Tyler Robinson. There is no more reason for them to release anything. Period. And I'm not covering for them or any of that. There is just no reason to give it to the public. Kash Patel's already stated, no, we're going to let it come out in trial. You'll see it at trial. As long as there's a trial. If there's not a trial, then that's a whole new fucking problem we got to talk about. But that is just not true. The way he is saying this is incorrect.
Except for like at a gas station, hundreds of miles away. A little video of him running that's super blurry. Nothing else. Nothing else. The question about the gun, the 30-06.
You're telling me that we have a conspiracy because we don't have enough footage from the FBI or from the Utah authorities, and because we're not sure of the 30-06. So therefore, government cover up, Israel did it, the feds are involved, the people at the hospital are involved, the medical examiners involved, TPUSA is involved, Charlie's closest friends are involved. All of this shit because we don't have enough footage and not sure on 30-06.
So this is what Crowder said. You can watch this clip and draw one of two conclusions. Erika Kirk is evil and conspired with the Trump administration to kill her husband, or real Candace Owens is a miserable, you get it. That has been a discussion online quite a bit about Erika Kirk. I've stayed out of it because I don't really understand this kind of grieving, because I've never lost somebody to me super close in a gruesome manner like this. I've lost people. People have died of old age. People have died of, cancer, stuff like that. But something like this, I don't know. I don't know how you grieve. I probably would think that I would not smile in public for a long time, even if I wanted to, just out of respect for the person who died. I wouldn't be talking about business.
Yeah, I have a problem with what he just said here. He's insinuating that Erika is being disrespectful to her late husband because she's smiling in public. What an asshole fucking thing to say. Since he hasn't lost anybody close to him, so he's unsure of how he would react, as somebody who has lost two very close best friends to suicide, let me explain to you how I reacted. I dove into work. I dove into being surrounded by people. I smiled a lot. I went to work a lot. I kept myself busy. I mourned in private because it hurt too much to just sit there and do nothing. I needed to be around people. I needed to continue with my daily life because it helped get me through it. Now, I wasn't in front of cameras or anything of that nature. The fact that she was able to pull that off, I commend her for that. That is strong. That is a strong person. And it doesn't surprise me at all because it appears as though she is very strong in her faith. But there was no crying in public for me. There was no angry face. That was inside. And then I let that out in private. This type of shit, and I don't like, for anybody to make any fucking kind of claim when it comes to how somebody is mourning anything is fucking disgusting. This kind of shit, I can't fucking stand it. The balls on some people to say shit like this is fucking wild. I wouldn't smile in public out of respect. Implying if you smile in public, you're being disrespectful.
Wouldn't be talking about football games. I wouldn't be talking about any of the stuff really Erika has talked about since the entire thing happened. I sure as hell wouldn't be laughing on a podcast. But death does weird things to people, I guess. One thing, though, that I've seen recently that is extremely weird to me. Charlie Kirk's accused assassin Tyler Robinson's case gag order is unprecedented.
Absolutely nothing fucking out of the ordinary with this gag order. I'm tired of seeing this shit, too. There's been plenty of fucking high-profile cases where the judge places gag orders on it because they don't want anything to fucking get in the way of a fair trial. They don't want let me repeat it. They don't want anything to get in the way of a fair trial. Why? Because they don't want this kid to walk on some bullshit. If they get a conviction, they want it to be solid. They don't want to have to worry about coming back and having to retry him because of an appeals, because of who knows whatever the fuck could happen. A gag order is not surprising. I'm actually surprised he didn't do this sooner. Anyway, I can't listen anymore. I was going like super easy on him in the first part of this video, giving him the benefit of the doubt. He seemed like a solid dude. But man, as soon as you start fucking attacking people or insinuating certain things about people on how they're grieving or how they're mourning, and you haven't walked in their fucking shoes, he's right. Everybody grieves differently, 100%. So knock your fucking judgment back like a lot of bit, dude. Just because you think there's a conspiracy and it's a government cover-up, you're going to fucking attack this dude's widowed wife? Man, whatever. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully it's a little more lighthearted in the next one. I'm sorry, guys. I can't stand that shit.